Eyewitness News also has some new information on a story you saw first on 12. Yesterday, the Rhode Island Senate approved a bill that would require individuals convicted of first or second-degree murder to serve at least 50% of a sentence prior to being eligible for parole. Legislation was introduced after so-called thrill killer Alfred Brissett Jr. was granted parole after serving only 14 years for the murder of a Woonsocket woman back in 1999. It is a story we first brought to you by the Target 12 investigators, and now the bill's sponsor is reacting to its passage. Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell is at the State House now with those details.
When the bill came up on the Senate floor, there was no discussion and it passed unanimously. By a vote of 38-0, legislation that would keep some convicted killers behind bars longer passed the state Senate.
Many of my colleagues have heard from their constituents. They know that we need a tougher truth and sentencing bill. When somebody commits a first or second degree murder, they have to remain behind bars for many years.
Senator Lou Raptakis tells Eyewitness News several high-profile cases prompted him to introduce the legislation, including the case of Alfred Brissett. The thrill killer was sentenced to 60 years in prison, but as Target 12 investigators first reported, he'll be released on parole after serving less than 15 years. Two other convicted killers, Andrew Jett and Robert Lamoureux, were paroled before serving half of their sentences. They've both been accused of killing again.
We've seen evidence that murderers that do get out of jail, they repeat. So we got to end this 2-for-1 deal in Rhode Island.
Under the proposed legislation, people convicted of first or second degree murder would have to serve at least half of their sentences before being eligible for parole. When we first reported on the bill in the Senate Judiciary Committee, there was some concern about restricting judges' discretion.
It ties the hands of judges to craft appropriate sentences.
But on Tuesday night, there was no opposition to the bill. The legislation that was just passed now moves on to the House of Representatives for consideration. In the State House with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.